Imagine being born into absolute power, surrounded by gold, servants, and silence, only to die in complete darkness, sealed beneath stone, with no one left to hear you. Deep inside an ancient royal tomb, archaeologists uncovered something they couldn't ignore: a child's remains. Small, fragile, but positioned in a way that raised a chilling question. What if this child wasn't dead when they were buried? Who was this child? Was the burial a tragic mistake, or something far more deliberate? Could they have still been alive inside that sealed chamber? And why was this hidden for so long? For years, the answers remain buried, but the evidence tells a story that still unsettles experts today. It begins with discovery. In the dry, silent heat of an ancient burial site, archaeologists carefully brush away layers of sand from a sealed chamber, one untouched for centuries. The tomb belonged to a royal family, part of a powerful dynasty where death rituals were elaborate, sacred, and strictly controlled. At first, everything seemed typical. Stone walls etched with faded carvings, fragments of ceremonial objects, a cracked sarcophagus. But then they found something unexpected. Near the edge of the chamber, a much smaller burial. It wasn't placed with the same care. The position seemed off, uneven, almost hurried, and that's when the mystery began. The child was young, no more than 5 or 6 years old. Based on the location and burial context, researchers believe the child was of royal blood, possibly a prince, or the child of someone close to power. But royal life wasn't as safe as it appeared. Behind palace walls, danger was constant: political rivalries, power struggles, sudden illness, even betrayal within families. Children in royal households were both precious and vulnerable. And this child? Their story ended in silence. But how? At first, the burial seemed straightforward. The child had been placed inside a small coffin-like structure, sealed and left within the tomb. But then, archaeologists noticed something unsettling: the body's position. Instead of lying peacefully on their back, arms folded, as was customary, the child's limbs were slightly twisted. One arm bent awkwardly, the head tilted at an unnatural angle. It didn't look like a carefully arranged burial. It looked disturbed, but that wasn't the strangest part. Closer examination revealed faint marks on the inside of the burial structure, tiny scratches. At first, they were dismissed as damage caused over time, until someone asked a simple question: why were the marks concentrated near where the child's hands would have been? Then everything changed. Researchers began to look deeper. The scratches were irregular, repetitive, almost frantic, not the kind where caused by tools or natural decay. But something else, something desperate. Could this child have been alive inside the tomb? At first, the idea seemed impossible. Ancient burial rituals were precise, carefully performed. Death was confirmed before sealing a tomb. But history isn't perfect. Mistakes happen, and sometimes they're buried. This is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Experts began to consider multiple explanations. One theory suggests the child had already died, and the marks were caused later by shifting debris or environmental pressure. Another possibility is more unsettling. What if the child wasn't dead, but in a coma, a state mistaken for death? In ancient times, without modern medical knowledge, it wasn't always easy to tell. A still body, no visible breath, no movement. It could look like death, until it wasn't. But there's more. Some historians believe the burial may have been rushed. Perhaps a sudden death in the royal family created urgency. A ceremony performed too quickly, details overlooked, or worse, a deliberate act. In some ancient cultures, there are records, rare but real, of individuals being buried alongside the dead to serve them in the afterlife. Servants, companions. Could a child have been included in such a ritual? Most experts are cautious with this theory. There's no clear evidence confirming it in this case, but the possibility lingers. Modern science has tried to find answers. Advanced imaging, including CT scans, has been used to study similar remains. These scans can reveal fractures, signs of disease, even clues about cause of death. But in this case, the results are inconclusive. No clear trauma, no definitive cause, just a small skeleton and unanswered questions. Some forensic experts argue the scratches could still be natural damage. Others aren't convinced, because the pattern feels intentional. And that uncertainty is what keeps this mystery alive. So what really happened inside that tomb? Did the child die peacefully before burial, their position simply disturbed over time? Or did they awaken in darkness, trapped beneath stone, reaching out in their final moments? The truth is, we may never know. But the silence of that chamber tells its own story. A story of power, vulnerability, and a mystery that refuses to disappear. Because sometimes the most haunting questions aren't the ones we can answer. They're the ones that remain sealed just beneath the surface, waiting, like that child buried in the dark, still asking to be heard.